where our goal is to open the conversation about love and healthy relationships. This is our Love is Not a Game series. I'm Najieb, and we are in Chapter 1 of Love is Not a Game, a manual for loving relationships, written by yours truly. So, let's get right into it. So, Chapter 1 is called Your Relationship, and it's an emphasis on the ship part of the relationship, a vehicle. In this chapter, we're going to take a look at relationships. What are relationships? What are relationships not? We often have the wrong idea about relationships and what they're for, especially relationships with an intimate or romantic partner. Let's review some of these popular but erroneous ideas so we can get an idea of what your relationship is not for and what your partner is not for. So, we're going to look at both what relationships are for and what they're not for. Healthy relationships, that is. So, continue listening. And if you're reading along, then we're on page 28. If you use your relationship or your partner for any of the following reasons, you will hurt yourself. So now we're talking about what relationships are not. What is your relationship not? So, a healthy relationship is not any of the following: a distraction from your life, something that completes you. You enter a relationship already complete. Something you use to hurt yourself or each other. A relationship is also not a source of guilt, fear, strain, distress, drama, pain, and misery. Who would have thought, right? And to be clear, we're talking about all relationships, not just romantic ones. None of them should be a source of guilt, fear, strain, distress, drama, pain, or guilt, or misery. So, doesn't matter. Family, friends, co-workers, colleagues, mentor, mentee, doesn't matter. Relationships are not meant to be that. Not healthy ones anyway. And I keep forgetting to say the beginning introduction thing I'm supposed to say, which is, hi. You don't have to believe or accept or welcome anything I'm about to say. I'm just sharing. Moving on. Relationships are also not something that will stay the same and not change. Nothing on a level of form stays the same. Your relationship will change form, regardless of what it is. The relationship is also not something that hinders your progress towards your personal goals. Now we're going into partner. So what is your partner not? Your partner is not any of the following. And again, I must reiterate that your partner can be any person in your life that wants to be. It doesn't have to be a romantic connection there. Be anyone. Even just if you're going to read a chapter together, you can partner in that. That's also a partner by the definition of this book. Partner has no extracurricular strings attached. Like, it doesn't matter what you do or don't do with your partner. We're going to get into that in the next chapter about setting the goal for your relationship. But right now, we're talking about what relationships and partners are for and not for. So again, what is your partner not? Your partner is not any of the following: your entertainment, and neither are you anyone's entertainment. That's not your purpose on this planet. Your partner is not in the relationship to entertain you. Your partner is not your counselor. You're not your therapist. Your partner is not your servant. Your partner is not in the relationship to please you. Your partner is not responsible for your feelings. Let me bang the table when I say that. Not responsible for your feelings. Okay? Okay. They're not. Okay? Your partner is not in the relationship to make you happy. It's not possible anyway. Your partner is not going to make you feel complete. No one can complete you. You and your partner are already complete. Your partner is not going to stay the same and never change. Everyone changes all the time. Your partner is not your only source of love. Love is not limited to your partner or your relationship. Your partner is not your opponent. Remember the first page we read on principles of love and games, and the first thing was competitions and opponents. Your partner, a healthy relationship and a healthy partnership is not about being rivals or being opponents or being in competition. It's about collaboration, cooperation, and creating something together. Something that neither you nor they could have created by yourself or with anyone else for that matter. Your partner and yourself, you are on the same team all the time. If you're expecting anyone to fulfill these imagined needs in you, you will hurt yourself with that relationship. And we've all been there. Even if you make a commitment to fulfill these things for each other, it will not work because it is an impossible task. Right? Even if you say to someone, I'm here to entertain you. I'm just going down the list. I'm here to counsel you. I'm here to be your servant. Again, if you're not being paid. All right? If you're getting paid for these things, that's good. If you're just saying that this is what you're going to always do, don't do that. You say, oh, I'm here to be responsible for your feelings. Oh, God. Stress. If you're here to say, saying, oh, I'm going to complete you, or I'm going to stay the same and not change. I'm your only source of love, or your opponent. None of these things are viable for a healthy relationship, or possible. Continuing. What is your partner for? Now let's get into what they are for. What do you do in a healthy relationship with your partner? In a healthy relationship, you and your partner do what? You join on a common goal. You also join on a common curriculum, which we reviewed in the last reading, is a thought system. And another way of saying thought system is just a mindset, a way of thinking, right? And we know, we think of that in the basic things like, say, you're deeply religious and your partner is atheist, right? It's a mindset that you have that may not cooperate on things that are important to both of you, right? If one person's intentionally devout on not accepting any higher power in their life, and you are devout about that, then those are things that, those are mindsets that should be explored and discussed before. And that's why it's important to have a common curriculum, common goal, common mindset about the important things, right? The important things. Your partner, you and your partner do what in a healthy relationship? You trust each other totally and completely. You commit to the content of love in the relationship. You do not commit to a certain form of a relationship. You know that you are not going to understand each other fully all the time. And guess what? You don't need to understand each other fully to love each other fully. In a healthy relationship, you and your partner make a point to show your appreciation for each other as often as possible. In a healthy relationship, you and your partner free each other. In a healthy relationship, you and your partner support each other's peace. Not bad stuff, right? Okay, so now what are loving relationships for? We talked about what they're not for, right? Source of fear and guilt and strain and distress and drama and misery. So what are they for? How does love use relationships? The point of this book is to, I think I probably have the graphic up there, but you know, the point of this, I like showing up my tattered, well-loved book because it has been through everything with me. And so, and I'm counting on you to get us through this series. You can do it. It'd be funny if it just tore apart at that very moment, right? Well, it didn't. So, continuing, although I'm reading it one page at a time. So, how does love use relationships? And as I was saying earlier, that I wrote this book for an exploration on how love thinks, the mindset of love. How is the mindset of love? How does it approach these things, right? How does love approach friendship? How does love approach appreciation? How does love approach beginning and ending relationships? And all those topics we're gonna cover. And it's an exploration about how love would do it, or at least think about it. Because you can do it in different ways, but how does love think about it? And then also, how does the program think about it? How does fear, the program, fear, think about it? So, the mindsets of love and fear. So, this is very simple, how love uses relationships. Number one, love uses relationships for healing. I'll say that 2 more times. Love uses relationships for healing. Say it with me. Love uses relationships for healing. So, if you are hurt, or hurt yourself in a relationship, was, in that moment at least, it loving? Was it a loving relationship? Was that a loving moment in time? was that a loving perception that you had of yourself or the person at that moment? No, because love uses relationships for healing. Love uses your relationships to support your peace of mind. Relationships that are devoted to love are a place for rest and rejuvenation for your soul. So on a deeper level, not just to have mental clarity and to be on the same page mentally, but on a deeper level, a heart level, to connect and heal together. Because when we are healed, we're not healed alone. So here are the 2 keys to a healthy relationship, and that's what we said on the back of the book. We would say, what are the 2 keys to a healthy relationship? So listen up, because I'm going to say it and I'm going to say it again. 2 keys to a healthy relationship are 1, a common goal, and 2, a common curriculum. There are 2 keys that are needed in any loving relationship. And what is their purpose? Having these 2 keys will ensure your relationship will be happy, healthy, and loving. The great thing about these 2 ingredients is that you can add them to your relationship at any time, and they will work. And what are these 2 main ingredients? 1, a common goal, and 2, a common curriculum. And remember what a curriculum is? A thought system. And remember what a thought system is? A mindset. So a common goal and a common mindset about the important things. And what's an important thing? Well, love, right? It's important that we both, if there's 2 of us in a relationship, that we have a common mindset about love. One of us may say, well, I think love hurts sometimes. And I say, no, I think love is healing. It's important that we have that conversation and find agreement on what we are going to call love, or at least be aware. Like if I think love is hurtful and you don't, it'd be better to know that about me, because then I might think that if I'm hurting you, then I'm loving you, right? Because that's my mindset. So it's good to know the mindset of anyone you're in any kind of relationship with about the important things, such as love, right? Continuing. Without these ingredients, which are what? A common goal and a common curriculum. And if you hear the rain, I love the rain. It's a wonderful soundtrack for this video. And this chapter, as all chapters, are conversation pieces. So I invite you to talk to someone in your life about relationships. What are they for? What do you think a relationship for? What do you think a healthy relationship is? What do you think are important keys to a healthy relationship? They don't even have to read the book. They don't have to know the book. You don't have to tell them about the book. But have the conversation, because you will gain insight to that person and to your relationship. It'll help just by having that conversation. So, a common goal and a common curriculum or thought system, meaning mindset. Without these ingredients, your relationship will eventually deteriorate and you will grow apart. So what is a common goal? Having a common goal starts by asking yourself and your partner these questions. Consider these 3 questions. What is the purpose of our relationship? What is our relationship for? Why are we together? Isn't it so funny that, especially in romantic relationships, that comes up at the worst time? Like when the doubt and the fear and the anxiety is like, so what are we for? What is this? What are we doing? Who am I to you? Right? What do I mean to you? What and all that. That's another way of asking these questions. What's the purpose of our relationship? What is our relationship for? What's our relationship committed or devoted to? Why are we together? Think about a business relationship. When businesses merge. Actually, not even when businesses merge. When 2 people come together to start a business. Or if I said to you, hey, let's go into business. You're like, all right, I trust you. That's a good idea. All right, great. We're in business now. What's your next question? Your next question is more likely, all right, in business to do what, right? In business, why? And what's the purpose of our business? What do we do? Oh, no, we're just in business. Yay, partner, great. We're in business together. Or are we, right? We're in some mess together, but I don't think it's business, because the first purpose of business is to make money, right? And then, we didn't talk about that. We didn't talk about the service we're providing or what we're doing. So taking it out of the business realm now into the personal realm, where it's not transactional, So, what's the purpose of our relationship? Or when people say, what do you want to do? Like, even in the moment, do you want to read a chapter of Love Is Not a Game for me? That'll be our goal in this moment. That'll be what we do. It's like, why are we together? And we're going to explore all of this in the next chapter, but this is just to prime your mind to think, because to have a healthy relationship, this conversation needs to be had. It can't be implied or assumed, because that's how miscommunication and hurt happens. Because then you have expectations and disappointments, and you don't know what anything is for. It's good, at least, even if you're not on the same page, to know what page they're on. Like, we're on page 31, you're on page 3, so we're not even talking about the same topics right now because we're not on the same page. But at least I know you're on page 3, because now I can talk to you about page 3, and then maybe we can get back to page 31, which is the page we are actually on right now. Page 31. Continuing. This is one of the conversations you will have later on in the chapter, setting the goal. As I said, I should just read, right? I wrote the book. I'll probably just read the book. It's like, if you ever read or listened to any of my books, it's like having a conversation with me. So now that you're having a conversation with me, or at least listening to me read the book, my book, it's like me and me talking to you. It's ridiculous. Even for me, it gets to be ridiculous. It's like, I'll be like, you know what? The next chapter, we're going to talk about setting the goal. Let me read now. In the next chapter, we're going to talk about setting a goal. Okay. Could have just read that, right, Najieb? Okay, continuing. What is the importance of a common goal? Having a common goal is the same as having a common destination. A relationship is a vehicle. We said that in the beginning. And when you get into a vehicle with someone, you want to be sure you both agree on where you're going. Makes sense, right? Kind of like getting in the back seat of the taxi and being like, hey, like, get in the back. Let me just dramatize it real quick. So, taxi, action, got in. Woo! In the taxi. And this is not Uber or Lyft or when, you already know. It's just you got into a regular taxi and then they're like, so where to? It's like, yeah, just drive, yeah. And they're going to be like, where are you going? It's like, I'm in a taxi. Just drive the car, man. Just drive the car. Like, where? Just drive, And now, unless they just want to run the meter and drive you around and that's your agreement. But otherwise, it's like, where are we going? Because we're in a vehicle, and technically, this is a transactional relationship. So their job is to drive you to where you want to go. But even in a relationship where it's not transactional, you still want to know where you're going, right? Still want to know why you're going there and if you're going to the same place. And you want to start with the foundation. Okay, what is this relationship we have and what is it for? Even if it's a study group, right? You're studying microbiology in school. You want to get in the study group with the other microbiology students, not the Shakespearean literature students, right? Or the math students. You want to get in the study group with the people who are studying what you want to study, so you'll have the same goal and you go in the same direction. Continuing. An important thing to remember about the goal and purpose of your relationship is this. Focus on the content you want in the relationship. Do not focus on the form. We will discuss form and content later. And I was about to say, let's pause here because we're going to talk about form and content later. And then I just said it right there. So, again, benefits of having written the book that you're reading. I wrote it. So, probably sounds like me. Moving on. What is a curriculum? A system. A curriculum is a thought system, as we were talking about. Your thought system becomes your belief system. Your belief system becomes your guidance system. A belief system also becomes your value system. Your value system eventually becomes your identity. Because you identify with what you believe in and value, right? Even if you call yourself a particular religion or political party or what have you, cultural identification, you will believe and adopt the values of that particular identity, and it'll become your identity. So it's important to evaluate, are these characteristics and qualities I want to have as an individual? And if so, don't just blindly pick up a thought system, even this one, even Love Is Not a Game. Just evaluate it, think about it, and decide if it's something that's benefiting your life or not. Because it can only benefit or detriment be a benefit or a detriment to you. There's no in-betweens. That's why I say in the beginning, I'm doing better. I'm like usually late, but I say in the beginning, you don't have to believe, accept, or welcome anything I'm saying here. I'm just sharing. And it's for me first anyway. So I believe it, I accept it, I welcome it, and to reinforce it in myself, I share it with you. Because I have to do it out loud, and I have to review it. And as we said in the preface, that what's the mother of all learning? Repetition, repetition, repetition. Do it over and over again. Because if that's what you want to inculcate into yourself, then you do it over and over again. It's a skill. Love is a skill. Continuing. So if you're going to have a curriculum, aka identity, it might as well be in alignment with what you truly are, which is love. Love, it's up there, right? Yeah, love. Love is not a game. Continuing. Oh, it's up there too. Because Love 101. It's a lot. I'm surrounded by love. It's great. There are many curriculums, aka thought systems, out there. What matters most is that you and your partner both trust your curriculum and that you both decide to practice it together. This manual offers a curriculum. The curriculum of this manual is the curriculum of love. You are love. Therefore, this curriculum is both for you and about you. How great is that? What is the importance of a common curriculum? It is important to consciously choose a curriculum for your relationship. Why? Your curriculum is the guidance system that will guide you back to love when you and your partner forget love and forget your goal. And forget you will. So it's funny, I was just constantly saying how important it is to have a goal and a thought system and it be about love. And it's like, well, you're going to forget that. Weird, right? It's kind of like driving someplace and then your GPS goes out, you get lost, or you don't have the map. You have to, so you got lost. Accept that and then course correct. Make adjustments and move on. Don't beat yourself up. It happens to all of us. Every day. Every day we go into a moment of where we may not be feeling the most secure, may not be feeling the most confident, may not be feeling the most loved or loving. It's okay. It happens. Moving on. So, it is important to trust your goal and trust your curriculum more than you trust your own thoughts and feelings at any given moment, unless those thoughts and feelings are rooted in love. What happens if you do not decide to set a common goal and follow a common curriculum, meaning have a common mindset about love? Since you have both been programmed since birth, if you do not consciously decide to set a goal, you will unconsciously set a goal. This is called your default setting. And guess what the default setting is? The program, aka fear. We will discuss the program in more detail later. For now, the one thing to remember is this. No good has ever come to anyone from following the program, ever. Full stop. No good has ever come to anyone from listening to the program, ever. Meaning fear in your mind. No good has ever come to anyone. And no good will ever come. You're like, well, maybe if I try it one more time. You know the whole definition of insanity thing? You know what I mean. Guess what? The program has a complete curriculum too. So if you do not consciously choose a curriculum, guess what curriculum or mindset you will be following by default? That's right, the program's curriculum, the program's mindset, the program's way of thinking, fear's way of thinking, fear's mindset, fear's curriculum. And guess what comes from following the program's curriculum? No good. Moving on. Page 33. What is a relationship? A vehicle. And then we say friendship, companionship, partnership, relationship, right? A relationship is a vehicle, just like a ship is a vehicle. All relationships are vehicles. So a relationship equals vehicle, goal equals destination, and curriculum equals map or GPS. So what is the purpose of a vehicle? The purpose of a vehicle is to transport you somewhere. You use a vehicle to get you let me go back. Just stumbling over my words. The purpose of a vehicle is to transport you somewhere. You use a vehicle to get to your destination. What is a destination, Naeem? What is that? I don't understand what you're trying to say. Say it one more time. Okay. You use a vehicle to get to your destination faster and safer than you would have without it. What is the first thing you need to ask before you get into a vehicle with someone? We went over this. Where are we going? Asking this question is important because it's setting the goal. You are deciding and discussing the destination of your journey together. What happens if you get into a relationship vehicle without a destination? Well, you'll travel around in circles and find yourself in places you just don't want to be in, eventually. And what happens if you don't know how to get to your destination? You will get lost at sea. And how do you get to your destination without getting lost? Use a map or that GPS system. In relationship terms, this is what is called a curriculum, which again we said is a thought system. Why have a curriculum? You can have a common goal, meaning destination. We going to Canada. We're in New York, we're going to drive to Canada, Toronto to be exact. And you can have that common goal for your relationship, but how does it serve you if you don't know how to get there? It's like, all right, New York to Canada, let's go south. You don't know? You taking a guess? All right, let's go east. Right into the ocean, right? You have to have a map or a guidance system. Your curriculum is your map and your guidance system. What happens if you don't know how to operate the vehicle? You'll crash and you'll hurt yourself, and also known as relationship wreck. Relationship wreck, you get it. What causes relationship wrecks? Listening to the program causes you to have relationship wrecks. We will cover exactly how the program operates later. We will expose you to how its GPS, its misguidance system, always results in wrecks. Partnership. Your relationship is a partnership, which means you and your partner must operate your relationship vehicle together. Who decides what the goal and purpose of your relationship will be? You and your partner discuss and decide on what the goal and purpose of your relationship will be. But who decides what the curriculum of your relationship will be? You and your partner decide to join in a common curriculum. And again, it doesn't have to be love is not a game. It has to be a conversation that you have, though, if you want a healthy relationship. This is not the only way. There is never an only way. It's about a way of thinking. It's about exploring and growing, not believing that where you are now in your life with your understanding of love and healthy relationships is the be-all, end-all. I teach this stuff and I'm reviewing it because I know I need to be reminded, because it's so easy to forget. Continuing. Just remember, it is important that the curriculum you decide on does not come from you or your partner. Why? Because you need a curriculum that is objective and based on universal truth. And you may ask, well, you wrote this book, Naeem, so it's coming from you. And wrong. Watch the first video or the second or whichever one it was that I said that this is, I got this whole thing. Straight up got it all. Stole it. Didn't steal it. Adopted it from A Course in Miracles. That's the curriculum I used. So all I'm doing is putting Course in Miracles language into my own words, if you get my meaning. But it's kind of the same as saying arithmetic, right? 2 + 2 is 4. That's the principle. That's the law of addition. But if I learned in my book about addition, but then I come and teach you, well, 2 pages plus 2 pages is 4 pages. I didn't make up addition. I'm just using a different way of showing you how addition works. So everything that I am presenting to you here is not about me personally. It's about love and the curriculum of love as expressed in the Course in Miracles. A thought system about love and fear. And in this book, Love is Not a Game, we call love, love, and we call fear the program. So, same thing, different words. Continuing. So, what is universal truth? Again, universal truth is true for everyone all the time. As stated before, a relationship needs these 2 things in order to be successful. A common goal and a common what? Curriculum or thought system or mindset. Without these things, your relationship will sink. Later, you will be shown how to use your internal compass, your feelings, to know for sure whether or not your relationship vehicle is headed in the right direction. For now, you and your partner need to set the goal and decide upon a curriculum for your relationship. Hint, hint, hint. If you don't already have a curriculum or a thought system that's easy to use, you don't have to look far. This manual is a curriculum. Love's curriculum. Your relationship is your sanctuary. This is a very nice page to read. Let me read this for you. Just be, for us. What is a sanctuary? A sanctuary is a holy place. A sanctuary is a loving place. A sanctuary is a place you go to remember something bigger than yourself. A sanctuary is a place you go and just be. Be you. Be free. Be appreciated. Be loved just for showing up. That's what a relationship is for. To be yourself. To be free. To be appreciated and to be loved just for being you. Because you are wholly lovable and loved, and you are love itself as you are. You don't need to do anything else. You don't need to change. Continuing. Love wants your relationship to be a sanctuary for you and your partner. If you set the goal and decide on a common curriculum, your relationship can be all of that and more. If you do not set a goal and decide on a curriculum, you will fall into the program's version of what a relationship is. A prison, a dungeon, an insane asylum, a torture chamber, and more. So, do you want healing in your relationship? Yes, I do. Do you want peace in your relationships? Yes, I do. Do you want fun in your relationships? I do. Do you want total fulfillment in your relationships? Yes. Do you want trust in your relationships? Absolutely. If so, let's begin with setting the goal now, shall we? And that is chapter 2, which we will pick up in the next video. So we have just read chapter 1 of Love is Not a Game. What is a relationship? What is a healthy relationship for? We covered having a common goal, common purpose and curriculum or thought system, and what a relationship's not for and what it is for. And that is for healing. So I invite you to have that conversation, whether or not you read this or listen to this with anyone. Have that conversation with someone you care about. Ask them, so what does having a healthy relationship mean to you? And just take it from there. This, once again, is Love One-on-One Media, where we join to open the conversation about love and healthy relationships. I'm Najieb. Look forward to seeing you next time. And you seeing me, because I really can't see you. But you get what I mean. Alright, I'm going to stop recording now. Until next time, to be continued.